It starts with panicking.
Yeah. First step is panic, and just a good couple minutes of like sitting there going, "Fuck." No, we've talked about this ad nauseum between each other, and like when we go on the road with our bands and seeing their dynamics versus our dynamics, and we are very, very, very fortunate to be who we are together because we work really well. We all have our own synchronicity. It's the term of this tour. Yeah, we all have our own like.
It really is.
It is synchronicity of this.
The way things fall into place for us and how we are copacetic with each other, like, we have our ways of getting on each other's nerves. Very little, but we all kind of know how to engage and initiate in that.
Not me, I'm perfect.
Totally.
Yeah. This is Rob Ruckus.
Hey, this is Kate Clover.
Hey guys, it's Nick Collins here from The Effect and Better Strangers.
Hi, my name is Madeline Rose.
Hey, it's Ben McKelvey.
It's Tim Howard here from Mike and the Mechanics.
Hello, I'm Amanda Lehman.
I'm Billy Harvey.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Casey Sampson from the band Twist Stop.
Hey, it's Tony from Fastball.
Hello, everybody. My name is Isaiah Mitchell.
Hey guys, it's Matt here from the White Lakes.
You're listening to Almost Famous Magazine.
Come join us for this interview. Check it out, Almost Famous Magazine.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Hang right here on Almost Famous Magazine. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, rang the bell, shared our channel. We are so thrilled to be covering Punk Rock Bowling again this year. It's the 25th anniversary. So leading up to Punk Rock Bowling, we are hanging with a ton of the bands who are performing at the festival. So make sure you subscribe as we feature a lot of these bands. Also, when you're at Punk Rock Bowling, and I'm sure everyone watching is going to be on their way to Las Vegas for Memorial Day weekend to be at Punk Rock Bowling, check out Punk Rock Saves Lives. They are going to be at a number of the shows. They'll be on site for all of the performances and learn how they support the punk rock community across the country. They're doing amazing work. Plus, you'll have a chance to win some one-of-a-kind Punk Rock Bowling signatures from many of the performers at Punk Rock Bowling. Today, unlike any other, here we have Punk Rock Bowling club show performers, The Last Gang. It's been a long day for me. They are coming to us from somewhere on the West Coast because they're out on the road right now making time to hang with us. So we've got Brenna Red, Sean Viale, Ken Aquino, Sam Mankinen. Mankinen.
Brenna Red.
Too many vowels.
Sean Veely.
Yes, fine. Bear with me. Long day.
It's all good.
But they're performing a club show at Fremont Country Club. Let's see how many. Start drinking now, everyone. Every time I mispronounce a word, they're performing at the Fremont Country Club on Saturday, May 24th, along with Good Riddance, Distorted Times, and Strung Out. So get your club show tickets. They're going fast. Everybody, welcome to The Hang. Thanks for bearing with me. It's been a long day. Thanks for joining me. Everybody, I want to know a few things about The Last Gang because I'm new to you guys. I've never seen you perform before. You've got a new album that just came out that people can purchase. But let's go back in the Wayback Time Machine. Let's get to how did the band start? Where did it all come from? And what you've been doing up till now with the new release.
Well, we reestablished in about 2013 and played for a couple years, trying to get some traction. We got Sean in the band, and we were a three-piece for a little bit for our first album. We recorded with Cameron Webb, and we paid for that out of pocket. We all really went into some heavy debt with that because it was a risk. And with that first album, we kind of shopped it around and we got really, really lucky. And it fell into the ears of Fat Records. And they listened to it, loved it, bought it from us. And we've been on Fat ever since. And this is our third album now on Fat Records. And our second album, Noise, 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 that's when it was official. And Kenny joined the band. And then we became a four-piece. And yeah, the third one just came out in last fall of 2024. And ever since we've been signed, we've just been touring as much as possible, getting out on the road, working.
That was also my first record with the band, this most recent one. So
yeah, he's technically our new drummer, even though he's been with us for three years now.
Yeah.
So this is his official first release.
I think, though, the time stopped for about a year and a half, and every day became Blur's Day. So for all we know, you joined last week. Welcome to the band.
Or 20 years ago.
Right?
Yeah, I totally joined this week.
You mentioned that you reformed. What was you? There was an original time together, and then what happened in between to get back together?
We started before that, just like as a local kind of stuff. Didn't really do anything like national or any labels. It was all just independent DIY. And then we just stopped for a bit. Did other stuff in our lives, and then when we reformed again, that's when we were like, let's do it the right. Let's invest into this. Let's make it all or nothing. And that's when we, like I said, we took out that financial burden of loans and stuff like that for that first album, because it's like either we make it or we don't. And if we don't, at least we have one album made by this incredible producer engineer Cameron Webb. And if we do make it, cool. And here we are.
So let me ask you this. I'm always interested. Whenever someone makes that risk, like really takes that dive into the deep end of the pool, you're banking on yourself and your belief in yourself. How does that feel when you're sitting there going, okay, we've got to make this happen. Come hell or high water, we're going to figure it out and take that risk on ourselves. What's the feeling and the thoughts that go through your mind? Because there's always risk and reward, and there could be failure. Like, where do you find that within yourself? Because some people have trouble. Some people have trouble with that. So I'm always interested in people who find it with themselves, do it, and then make it happen.
So we've all been in bands since we were kids. So we've been making records more or less since we were kids. So, I mean, this is like album 10 or 11 for me, technically, that I played drums on. So, I mean, the pressure is on for album 3 of this band to make it our best. But I think that if we're not just doing what we want to do the entire time, then it's not worth it. So I think we're just doing it for ourselves at this point and making it the best we can,
It's kind of like, what else are we going to do?
Yeah, like
I just go to work and sit at home.
Yeah, we don't know any better either. Like
this is like
my
normal
entire
for us.
life.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, hey, there's plan B or C. That we're all in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no plan B.
There's no plan at all. There's no plan A.
We're still going flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5 days ago, our transmission broke somewhere in Washington, and
we didn't know Bremerton. Yeah, we don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We still don't have our van. It's still being fixed in the shop, and it's like, cool. There's like $5,000 down the drain, and we don't know how we're gonna make it up, but we're gonna try. We just gotta book some more local shows or this or that, and it'll just
happen either way, right?
Yeah, being a band is not about making money. It's about being in debt and doing what you love.
Yeah, so that said, like, writing is it's painstaking, but it comes naturally when it's right, Like, it's not like hell or high water anymore, It's like we're doing it as vindication of what we're experiencing now. Like, it's so enlightening to write something that we truly believe in at this point in our lives.
Mm-hmm. And I think at the time of the first record, we were so happy to be in the studio. It was just fun.
Yeah.
We were just having a good time doing what we love to do.
You're out on the road and the transmission goes, and you have to rely on one another. How did things like that, experiences like that, solidify each of you to one another to bring out the strength in everybody? Like, how do you lean on one another? What's the dynamic for being
it starts with panicking.
Yeah. First step is panic. And just a good couple minutes of like sitting there going, fuck. No, we've talked about this ad nauseum between each other, and like when we go on the road with our bands and seeing their dynamics versus our dynamics. And we are very, very, very fortunate to be who we are together because we work really well. We all have our own synchronicity. It's the term of this tour. Yeah, we all have our own
It really is.
It is synchronicity of this.
The way things fall into place for us and how we are copacetic with each other, we have our ways of getting on each other's nerves. Very little, but we all kind of know how to engage and initiate in that.
Not me, I'm perfect.
Totally, yeah. But we're more playful at this point. Like, I think it took a couple tours to get that rhythm, but honestly, the last 4 tours we've had have been so
Copacetic.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. So when we run into issues like this, we take that mental break, kind of do what we need to do individually in the band, and that, like, we secured vans, we still got to the show the same night when our van died.
Like, I went across the street and talked to this repair shop that was there and helped organize where we're getting the transmission from. Sean was on the ball of getting, like, a tow truck that had a tow so it could actually hitch up the trailer with it. Our tour manager, Andrew, was on the phone just in case with U-Haul. Do you have a backup van? Kenny was trying to find an Uber to the enterprise. Like, we all had our we're like little cogs in the big machine, and we all worked together really well. Very fortunate. It doesn't happen all the time with bands. Trust me, I've seen a lot of bands that just bite.
We also got fortunate where our transmission broke because 2 hours before that, we were in the middle of the mountains in a blizzard.
Yeah.
So it broke
we have
there.
A lot of fortunate things happen to us. When bad things happen, it's very like, our tire went out. There's a tire shop.
Yeah, we were able to look at the silver lining, and with a little luck.
Well, I think that's why we also work well. We're not like, everything is like a against us situation. Like, fuck that. We're like, all right, well, this is the best thing this could have happened like that.
Right. Not to negate that we're, like, hardworking still, and we're here, like, grinding our asses off, you know? Like,
it's fucking hard.
Within that, like, we could be chill, but we still have to, like, drive all over the rest of the state for the rest of this tour in these vans and spend money. And we, like, the hopefulness of it is that people come out and support us because of these things happening. Not because of that, because they love the music, but
give me money, please.
You know?
Yeah.
Money. All your money.
Absolutely.
Just kidding.
Everybody needs to buy the new album, and we'll talk about that. And the links will be below. So we're going to make sure all the links to buy stuff from you guys are.
They need to buy the record because they enjoy it, and it's good because we put our heart and soul in something that, again, with the years of writing together.
It's the best record that we've ever done, and I don't know, man, not to be, like, conceited, because I'm very, like, doubtful of myself and have, like, my reservations, but I think this is one of, like, the best records that I want to listen to, too. Like, right now, it's top for me. We did such a good job. I'm just tooting that horn. That's good. Buy it.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, how did these experience, or how have these experiences on the last two albums and all the stuff you've gone on tour, because maybe this isn't your first broken transmission, something else has happened. How have all that stuff kind of impacted kind of the music that you're writing? Like,
greatly has. I mean, one of our songs, Berlin to Rome, is about our European experiences touring in Europe a couple summers ago.
Yeah. And I mean, we're not this band, we're not a that band. We don't, like, have a really thing that we write about all the time. We just write about what we do in our daily lives. It's like a diary, you know, of what we're going through at that moment. So it just happens to be very political right now because that is the climate of the world. But not every song's about that. You know, some songs are about love, or some songs about travel,
past experiences,
or friendships and stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, touring and all the stuff, and how it is a really hard financial burden, but we love to do it. But one of the songs, Dogmatic Capitalizer, is about, I wrote it when my day job, like, cut how we get paid, and I got so fucking angry at the greed of corporations and how it's just they are entitled to their money that they feel, and how I'm just, fuck, how am I going to make money on the road if I can't? Yeah, it's just all of that. It's everything all together.
Now, in the writing of the album, or your albums, is this a writing collective, or, you know, do each of you bring something and the next thing you know, it's one of you plants the seeds and it grows, or is one person kind of like all the lyrics and one person is all the rhythm? I mean,
I play drums in the band, so I bring the drums.
I do. No, yeah, we have evolved from the first album, how we write. So I think what works best for us is they kind of jam on just riffs, or a bass riff, or a guitar riff, or sometimes I have a melody riff, and we'll just kind of, like, mess around with it. And if I hear something, like, if I listen to it and I hear something in the ether of, like, this, like, melody that can float on top, then we'll stick with that. And then I'll figure out what vibe it is and what words want to, you know, pour out of my mouth to it. And then that's kind of how the song will evolve. So it is usually music and rhythm and groove, and then the melody on top, and then finding the personality of the song with the lyrics.
There's a lot of evolution that kind of happens while we're writing because we had like certain songs that or rhythms that Sean would write that kind of develop some be terrible, just horrible,
and die.
They'd have a certain swing to them that just would develop a bit and then wouldn't feel right. So then I would suggest changing the drums at this part or just the entire rhythm or strumming of it, but the same notes or whatever, and that kind of is what would help develop the songs too. Just kind of trying to take different approaches.
I feel bad for you actually when we write.
It's awful.
Because you just have to play like metronome till we figure out what we're doing.
I do a whole lot of this.
Yes, and then once we kind of get the core, then you can try different rhythms and flavors and styles. But poor Sam have to just play metronome half the time when we're writing.
Yeah, it gets beat up by Cameron at the end of it.
Yeah.
But like the greater side is we have songs like Rumors we were talking about earlier on the drive that we were having. Rumors is like musically very simple and the lyrics are fluent with it simply because Brenna is a very strong lyricist and writes a lot of lyrics most of the time. But that one fits very naturally together and it's not overdone in any way. And then also a song like Electric Avenue that opens the album is really like complex musically. Mm-hmm. And she also has a lot of lyrics on top of it, but they mesh really well. They just put it, the way it flows is really important. Kind of try and embrace that. How a song can be strategically.
But also like the simplicity of madness. Mm-hmm. I think it's 4 chords. Yeah. That's like the least amount of chords we put in a song. There's nothing weird chords. It's just simple bar chords, and it's so easy, but it's so hard at the same time. That's why we made it a single. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those songs.
The music, you mentioned that it had been an evolution since the first album.
Since the
going
first
back to that
things we've
first
ever
album,
done.
Ever.
To where you are now. What are some of the high points of that evolution? What's changed? What's gotten better? What are some of the things that you've kind of dumped and said we're not going to do that anymore? We're going to do this.
The drums got better. They just got more diverse. They developed the sound a bit more. Not to like, oh, the drums changed, but they really did. I feel like they're more integral in the writing now. Mm-hmm. I think the 2 records before this heavily influenced our like what we're really embracing in our style now, and trying to branch off a bit. I would say that those are the key things that have been the same, but also evolution.
Especially on the second album was Kenny's first one. I'm not like the craziest guitar player. I just major chords, bar chords, and like few like stretchies and something. But Kenny's like, he studies like super hard nerd, like, oh, this chord book and like, oh, Beatle chords and George Harrison. Like he's really like that. He's a guitar nerd, so he definitely adds this layer of, we could do the song like this, or what if we change the chords to be like this, and it would add a little. Maybe the normal listener won't hear it, but it changes a little bit of the song, and then.
Yeah, like how do you feel like you've developed since the last album?
I mean, I've technically definitely gotten better. I really don't think I let go of anything. I just kind of add, because it's like every song kind of you approach differently. And then if one thing doesn't work, you go back to something that did work for something else. So I really don't think I put anything down. I just keep adding to the toolbox as I go. So it's also kind of flying by the seat of my pants as well. Also, if I'm like stuck on something, I try to learn another person's song and then try to get out of, like, if I'm getting in my own way, that helps too.
And also when we got Sean like about 2 years after we first started again, and I saw in him, like, he was a singer and bass player of this band, and he had some skill. He wasn't just playing root notes. I was like, oh, I could see like he's got natural talent. And so in the first record, he was still kind of finding his way, but like compared to now, like his bass lines, I mean, what he's been listening to, like way more funk and weird shit that Cameron said too, and like,
yeah, what was that record he put on? It was
Funkadelic. The Parliament
Funkadelic.
Yeah, just I think a big development too is the bass lines. Huge. I think that's a huge part of it people don't probably realize.
Yeah.
And
I just think you take your practicing way more serious over the years too. You've really pushed yourself to do it.
Yeah, I started actually practicing aside from when we actually just rehearsed.
Mm-hmm. 'Changed
some things around in my life and made more time for important things, I guess.
Yeah.
Bass is
Yeah.
important.
But I think we've all gotten tighter as a band too, and more comfortable in the studio with Cameron as well. So that also helps.
I always think of like new songs and new writings and new albums, kind of like this. This one thing my friend showed me. He's like a motivational speaker dude, or whatever. He said like, grab this pen and like reach on the very top of this wall, and like, what's the highest mark you can write? And you got on your tippy toes and you write this mark. And he's like, all right, cool, it's pretty high. And he's like, can you go right above it? And then you're like, okay. And you do it again and you stand even more on your tippy toes and you stretch your arm higher and you go above. And he did that like 5 or 6 times. And you'd be surprised how much higher above the line you can keep going. Like you'll hold the pen in the tip of your fingers to get there. And like, it's that incremental, like how do you just a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. So every album is very hard because you're pushing where you thought you've already the limit was, but then you find a new limit, and then you find a new limit, then you find a new limit, and that's the evolution of every art form.
Yeah, I feel like wanting more is so clutch to what we do. Like
wanting more and never feeling like you're enough.
Right, totally.
For me,
like again, the albums I've been a part of before this band were all a stepping stone to this one, and there's always the next stepping stone to the next album, and I want to develop even better and grow. So it never ends.
Also, we're all kind of open to criticism from each other, so that helps a lot too.
Yeah.
We don't shut off from that.
Yeah, we don't really shut off, but also I feel like a lot of things, unless you're an artist as well, like no people that aren't really participating in it don't really know how much the artist beats themselves up. Like we really kind of like hold ourselves to a standard too, that like if somebody talks shit, like I already said mean things to myself that like nobody can top. So it's like we push ourselves too in that sense.
Who's had panic attacks while writing or recording? Sam's the only sane one.
I get mad at myself.
I don't know about panic attack, but definitely like internal panic. Just
that like
I'm just looking at Cameron or who.
I want to smash something. I'm so angry.
I've definitely like beaten myself to a pulp to try and get the best track and had to take breaks, but maybe not panic necessarily. It's been where it's like man, I really can't reach right now, so we gotta like shut it down for a minute to come back to it to make it what it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great. I mean, it obviously there's a lot of vulnerability amongst the four of you to have those relationships so that you can have that freedom to, I wouldn't say criticize, I would almost say add to one another in a conversation, right? Just add to whatever's there, right? You're not bringing, I can't tell that you're bringing each other down. You're having fun with it. I would imagine that you're able to say, hey, I like that, but maybe we could, instead of, well, that sucks, right?
Right.
No, I said
we still see it.
It sucks. But with love.
It's a good balance.
All right, I was giving you a little too much credit there, maybe, but
that kind of sucks.
No, it's the Cameron.
It sounds like that working.
What else you got?
Working together is
Yeah.
So,
Good vibe.
That's what it is at the end of the day.
One thing I've got a couple things I'm interested in. One is, who are some of y'all's influences? Because you just brought up funk, right? Who are some of the artists that either you have aimed to emulate or had influence over you and your style and where your music comes from? Let's go down the line. Who are some of the artists that you guys have influenced you?
Well, obviously we're very influenced by the Clash of Paul Simonon, Joe Strummer. And then also for me, like I'm a big Stiff Little Fingers fan, so Ally McMorty was always a big influence for bass playing for me. I listened to just a lot of punk when I was learning how to play bass, so yeah.
Everything. I mean, I know it's a general answer, but influences always change. There's, like you said, there's the core of like Clash and like, Branson was in my CD player and first Dropkick Murphys album, Do or Die. But every little thing has a different influence. Like Rumors was inspired by Lady of Rage. Female Fatale, just fatally feminine, she has a fucking song. She's rapping about her period. I'm like, you're fucking badass and just being a bad bitch. So there's different influences in every little aspect. But something that always kind of sticks with me lyrically is Elvis Costello. I think he's got, and fuck you, Cameron. He's a great, yeah. We argue with him. He doesn't like Elvis Costello, but I love Elvis Costello. His lyrics are just, they're never dull, and I don't feel like they repeat themselves. And he's like always trying to write above that line, above that line, above that line. So yeah. So and just anything that comes my way.
I'm gonna have a kind of cop out answer with the Beatles. That's one of my influences for sure. It's
for a reason.
A lot of things in that and like chord progressions and everything. But that's like everybody's influence. No Effects kind of opened the guitar world for me, and then that led backwards and getting into punk and then Ramones and Misfits and all that stuff. But really anything I can get my hands on. I can pull even like a lot of hip hop stuff. Like I'll listen to like chord changes on a Kendrick Lamar song and go, that was cool. How can I apply that to something that I've done? And I'll kind of like screenshot that I listened to it and then come back to it. But yeah, a lot of it is rooted in punk and branched out, went backwards and then forwards.
Steve Vai. Let's name all the great guitar gods that I don't actually know. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I don't know you sometimes. You can just throw some
shit.
I go Van Halen over Steve Vai.
No, for me, it's so
Ted Nugent.
Yeah,
Ted Nugent. I love Ted Nugent. That's something that did influence me when I was younger. Like I love Motley Crue and Minor Threat, and I mean my taste is really eclectic musically, and I think that's huge as a drummer. You have to be able to kind of maneuver musically, and like I love jazz. I love Buddy Rich and Miles Davis, and I love the Grateful Dead, and I love all kinds of music. I love Americana stuff. I love bluegrass. I love The Devil Makes Three was a huge influence when I was younger because it's so simple and it has nothing to do with drums. And like I love trying to peel it back when I can. Like I'm such an over drummer on a lot of things that when we have songs that I don't have to over drum, it's like a real challenge for me, and I love doing that. So
it's like that music theory where you like do less is hard, but it's harder. Like just that it's.
It is, but the like stuff like that. The Heavy was a huge influence on me growing up. The Hives, like it's all over the place. Like I just love music. It's tight.
It's pretty cool, man.
It's pretty cool.
I can't wait till the next album to hear the bluegrass influence that you bring to the album. I think that'll be awesome.
That's on him. He's got to play guitar during that shit.
Yeah, guitar lessons.
Yeah. I just get
Will
to
there
sit
be
back.
a banjo on the next album?
Yeah.
Has anyone ever done a punk banjo before?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. There's like what do you
ever heard of the Dropkick Murphys?
Yeah.
Banjo?
That's right.
Yeah, that's a fiddle.
Yeah, and Bridge City Sinners is using banjo too. Yeah.
Because Ken played bass originally, and he'd also play banjo. On
yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So,
see?
Mumford and Sons.
You're done talking. We are now a three-piece.
So for anyone who's watching who's not familiar with your music, they may be coming out to Punk Rock Bowling, they may be seeing you on the road, they may see that you're coming to a town near them soon. You got 3 albums out. If I was brand new to the band, name me 2 or 3 key songs. Doesn't have to have been a single, but the 2 or 3 songs that you're like, if someone's going to start with us, which 3 songs would have the greatest impact to get them to listen to the rest of the catalog?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I'll start.
You go.
I'm the newest guy. First record, because I feel like I was a fan before I joined the band.
Okay, I like that. Fair enough.
That's a big thing with me joining bands. I have to really like them before I join it. It's like getting a girlfriend. I gotta really like you before you're my girlfriend.
Why'd you join us?
It's true. I hate you.
Okay, out.
Blood Drunk is a huge song. It's super fun. Or Turn the Record Over. I guess those are kind of tie for the first record.
That's not on the first record. Turn the Record.
No, it's not. It was on an EP.
It's a single.
It's a single. But Blood.
You know what they say.
So Blood Drunk.
I Turn the Record Over. That's
it's his turn.
And then Noise.
Yeah.
Huge, great song for that record. And then for the new one, I think Rumors is like the most. I think it's a
love
great
Rumors.
song for our
Fun
newest
like-
record.
Okay.
Yeah, that our
It's
top
hard.
12 singles for the
hard.
newest record, so it's hard to pick. But Rumors is a great example of who we are right now.
What about you, Kenny?
I really like Turn the Record Over. That was on the 2 song you guys put up before I joined. And then on the record, I really like Salvation. What is the
Salvation for Wolves?
Yes, that one. Salvation for Wolves.
That's a good. Ooh, that's
good
a cut.
That one, because we played it live quite a bit, but it never was a single. I feel like it could have been. And then on Noise, Noise for that one. And then on the new one, I feel like Electric Avenue is a good. It encapsulates the record really well. Like when we were doing sequencing, that was Sam's sequence was having that open first, which I don't think anybody else really had. But that kind of like went through the genres that are kind of influential on that record. So I think that one, if you're gonna listen to one song, but also I really love Hide the Antagonist. That's a cool one too. I'm not gonna not say drop that song. Hide the Antagonist is my favorite song on the record.
I'll have to say, I'm trying to look at it from a point of view, like you said, like you're trying to get a fan to get into us. Like, what would I tell them? So I'll agree with Blood Drunk on the first album. It was kind of a straightforward punk song, catchy, train rhythm. So Blood Drunk. And then second album, I would also have to say Noise, 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 or Give Me Action, because again, I just love the bass lines that really drives them home. But I'll say Noise, 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 and then on the third one, like Sam said, it's kind of really hard to pick which because they're banger, banger, banger. All right, so help me. It's either gonna be Berlin to Rome or Madness.
Both are great.
But like, if you're a fan and you hear Blood Drunk and then you hear Noise,
I'd say Berlin.
I'd say Madness because it's so like they're 3 different,
Very
completely
different.
okay.
Yeah.
Blood Drunk, Noise, 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 Madness as a fan because you can hear like the weird evolution of everything and how we have no limits on what genre we can play. Yeah, that's my 3.
Sing for Your Supper for the first record.
Love it.
Second record, Give Me Action. Third record.
It's a hard one.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick.
I had something in my head and it's gone.
And it's gone.
And it's gone.
Rumors, Hide the Antagonist.
No, none of those.
Fake and Ice.
NRA Back to School.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. And that's
NRA
what
Back to
right
School.
now.
Musically, like that song's also like a simple like train
Kind of blood drunky.
Punk song.
Yeah, it's a through and through punk song, and lyrically it is also very like
Heavy.
So it's very punk.
Yeah, so maybe I'd throw Noise, Noise, Noise in the middle just to switch it up a little bit. So yeah.
All right, well, we got a lot to listen to, and everybody, all of these songs, you can buy them from the band.
Yes, you can.
I mean, before they have to put them on a transmission EP to sell you.
We also have some. We might have some left over for punk rock bowling. We also have maybe like a handful of cassette tapes as well of the newest album.
Ooh,
very
all
limited
right,
left.
Speaking of punk rock bowling, which is what brought us here today, you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, you've played punk rock bowling before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When was that, and what was that like for you? What was the experience like?
Our first experience was a club show. It was like a Fat Records showcase, and I think that was right after we got signed. 2018. And it was fucking wicked because it was like inside stage, outside stage. We were the very first band, and we were like, I don't know, first band, no one's going to show up. And it was shoulder to shoulder packed inside from band number 1, which was us. And that was really cool, and it felt like, yay, we've made it. Like, this is super rad. And then the next year,
it was 2021.
Well, the next time we played was
right after pandemic.
Right after the pandemic, we played the main stage.
Yeah. I played the day before.
And my personal experience, it was so hot. I drank too much. I saw Laura Jane Grace do acoustic the night before at the pool show, and I kept ordering just liquor, and they poured doubles, and I was crying. I was so good, and I didn't go to bed till too late. I woke up with a wicked hangover, and I'm not in my 20s, and everything hurt.
That was when Grumpster opened.
Grumpster, yeah.
And they called them on the poster Gumpsters.
Gumpsters. Oh, jeez.
Gumpsters. And I remember running into you at the pool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I ran into everybody separately. Like, I ran into them at the festival because I had played the day before, I think. And
yeah, he wasn't in the band
yet.
I
wasn't in the band yet. I was in another band. And then I saw Brenna and her husband at the pool party later. Yeah. So that was my second experience.
I tried to do the next morning. I tried to do jumping jacks to get my blood going, to like filter all the alcohol that's in me.
Yeah.
And I did too many jumping jacks, and then my calves wouldn't work. So on stage, I just had jelly legs, and it was like 105 degrees, hung over. My legs don't work, sweating through everything. It was a good time.
That was hard for me too. I think it was coming back. It was like one of my first shows back from the pandemic. So we were all like struggling to like find our groove again. And I also just ate a gigantic vegan burger before and almost shit my pants on stage. So that was really cool because they had a camera right behind the drum set. So I was like worried that I would have shit running down my legs. But luckily,
you had an ass cam at Punk Rock Bowling?
I did. It was hot. Literally.
I think that, you know, that year, that coming back, because that was a condensed Punk Rock Bowling, right? That was like Punk Rock Bowling Light that year, right? Like that was kind of the fall. I think it was September or something they did it.
Yeah.
I think everybody gets a pass on that one because I think everybody.
So if you shit your
was
pants,
like,
you're fine.
What the fuck are we doing here? How did we get here? We made it through.
It was a weird one.
And what did we do before? So I think everybody gets a pass. So what are you looking forward to this year? I mean, there's so many amazing bands. It's 25th anniversary. Are you going to be around long enough to catch some other acts, see some other bands? Is there anyone you haven't seen in a while, just that you even know that you want to catch up with?
I'm really grateful that they put new bands this year on, like Spiritual Cramp and Angel. Not new bands. They're not new. They've been around for a long time.
But not the legacy bands that don't play.
They're like punk bands that are representing different kinds of punk now, like Angel Dust, Spiritual Cramp. Like those two bands in particular are like huge on my radar, and I'm so thankful that there's like finally this crossover into this punk world that has existed. Like they're just like the Hives and just like all these other bands, and it's really fulfilling to know that they're on the festival. So I hope that I'm around to catch them in particular. And Social D.
Social
D.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we have our room paid for. That's like my super stoked. Like we're gonna show up and like we get to play and like get paid to do it, and then we got a room. Yeah. I can go to sleep maybe early and like get some brunch the next morning.
You guys think we're gonna party in our rooms? We're gonna go to bed.
Yeah, we're not partying.
Early,
we like to play.
Wait. Who says they're going to bed early for Punk Rock Bowling?
Oh,
I mean, actually, we have a choice. Our set's like at 11, and I think we're second band on.
Yeah.
I mean, early is like we're not gonna hang out till 5 in the morning. We're probably gonna 2-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, keep it light.
Keep it light.
Cash.
Friendly.
Yeah, I'll tell you what bands I'm sad that I'm gonna miss.
Oh yeah, what bands are you gonna miss that you're sad about?
Dillinger Force Swinging Utters Dead to Me on Friday night. That's gonna be a good fucking show.
Why don't you go and play early? Maybe. Like I said, we are not yet hanging out. It's one show. Yeah. For me, I can't financially go. Like we said earlier, we do this out of love, not because of money. And me personally, I just can't take off any extra time at work. I need to save up so we can go back on the road for these long tours, weeks on end. We have a tour coming up in Europe. We're hitting Germany is the main area, then surrounding stuff. So we got to make sure we work every day at our day jobs so we can put that in the savings account so we can pay shit while we're gone.
Yeah, because this tour has been taken up by a transmission. A lot of it. A lot of our profit.
Just truthfully, the facade of like making tons of money on tour is not there.
We're
not making it in streams. We need people to like physically buy copies, and then like that costs money.
Go to the shows.
We need people to come buy merch. Like the support is like so many different steps other than just streaming on Spotify. Like that's huge. I'm glad people are listening. That's fucking. If that's what it is, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, like we need support from everybody because that's what we do it for.
That's why I like
play for people.
We get the opportunity to do tours where we're doing club shows, but I'm very thankful for when we get to do festivals because it puts us in a one day large crowd exposure that really helps boost what we want to do.
And it's all or nothing, so we put it all out there, and if you love it, you love it, and if you don't, that's okay.
Yeah.
So
No, it's not. Fuck you.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding.
It's not okay. It's all in or nothing. Well, you've already answered my next question, which is what comes up after punk rock bowling? Where you said you're playing Germany, and where else?
So before punk rock bowling, we got Punk in the Park in Arizona, and then a one-off show in San Diego, and then punk rock bowling, and then we don't have anything booked until like the first part of August. We're doing like 2 to 3 weeks with City Rat booking over in Germany, Switzerland, Czech. I think we're playing.
Yeah, we're doing Punk Rock Holiday.
Yeah.
Brack Rock, Bayfest, and then a bunch of club shows.
Yeah. So we're just going. This is our fourth time back. So yeah, and this is our first time that we're bringing our tour manager over with us, merch guy, Mr. Andrew, and we haven't brought him over before because we couldn't afford it, and now we're like, kind of like this tour with the transmission. I'm like, fuck it, let's just bring him over.
We're gonna make it happen.
We got to do it.
Yeah, it's hard to sell
We need
merch
help.
and do all the other shit you're doing in Europe.
Yeah. He's a very treasured fifth member of the
And also driving. That'll be
Mhm.
big.
I have to say, I don't think we've used the word transmission as many times in a single episode of The Hang as we have
Transmission.
That's the name of the next record.
Transmission.
I was gonna say that's got to be either the title of the next record, or it's got to be at least one song on the next record.
Or the tour is
Well,
called.
for sure gonna be in a song.
The tour is called Mission Transmission.
Yeah.
Huh? Yes, that was great.
We can call
I'm
it.
giving
I
you
love
gold
that.
here.
We'll just call the record "Give Me Money."
Give me money. I'm broke.
Please,
My van's broke.
A couple of things we do here on The Hang that we love to kind of get in everyone's head is sometimes when you put good things out there in the world, good things come back, right? And we know that we've had people who show up to shows. Actually, this happened in Germany where somebody drove 3 hours to show to somebody that was on The Hang. We've had people come to shows because the band was like on a bill with someone else and they saw them on the podcast and like, I'm getting here early just to see them. So we know good things happen.
Yeah.
If each of you had an opportunity to get into a studio with one other artist for a day to be creative, who would they be and why? Who wants to go first?
I don't want to start.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Ken go. Ken.
Me first?
Yeah, you're starter.
I mean,
with names.
Producers count as artists, right?
Oh yeah.
I would go with Jerry Finn. He's a producer from like the early 2000s, that big boom of bands that was very influential, like a huge period of time of a lot of records that we all listen to. He would be one that I would want to work with. Unfortunately, he's passed away. But I would go Jerry Finn.
I would say not now because I think he phones everything in because of his name. He just puts a stamp on it. I would say like 90s era, early 2000s, Quincy Jones would be just so cool. Like, what could you bring out of me to be in the studio? That was so fucking cool. Or Dave Grohl. I just want to hang out with him maybe and just like see if he's cool and be his friend and like.
He's cool.
Like, you want to play drums together in like a song?
I think your odds of getting Dave Grohl might be greater than Quincy Jones at this point.
Yeah. We
I think, yeah.
or Jerry Finn. Well, yeah, that's the laws of nature. So yeah.
All right, guys. How about you?
I think it would be cool to work with Bill Stevenson on a record.
That's probably like we can do that.
Yeah, he's done some really cool albums that I like. So
he likes your roller suitcase,
and he likes my roller. He told me.
You got a roller there, right?
He saw me in where were we?
Luxembourg.
Yeah.
I was walking by and he stopped me and said, "Hey, that's a nice roller. What you got in there?" And I told him, and he's like, "Oh, nice." And
that was it. He's just a sweet man.
Did you get his number at least? His email address?
No.
No, we could find him. He's in Colorado somewhere. It's
gotta say his name 4 times.
We got mutual.
Come up.
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls.
For me, I would love to jam with like Mickey Hart because he does like a lot of like. He's such a eclectic drummer. Like he's one of the rhythm devils in Grateful Dead. So he's just like this. Now he's super old, but he just added all the flavor to the drums in their music. He wasn't like the pocket guy, you know. He got to like. I want to expand that process of how I think with drums because I'm so ingrained in a drum set. I'm so used to that I'd love to like kind of get out of what I normally do. And then also Dave Grohl would be super cool to work with on something or just hang out with because.
And like the first one, you should just do like LSD with him and see what happens.
Both of them. Yeah, both of them. A lot of psychedelic drugs with both people. So that'd be cool.
Well, it's out there in the world now, so we have to see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll give Sam some psychedelics.
Yeah.
Punk rock bowling.
Dave Grohl, come do mushrooms with us.
Yeah. Also, we end every set with Dave Grohl too.
Yeah.
And if you've been to any one of our shows, you know what we're talking about.
It's the best closing I've ever done in my life. It makes me so happy in my soul.
I gotta do everything I can to make your.
Show.
Just the last few seconds of the set.
What the fuck we're talking about?
Yeah. He comes out.
I will do.
He comes out.
I will do my best.
I'm making promises here.
I've got another one that I have to photograph, but I'll do what I can to get over to you guys on the 24th. Now everybody's watched. Look, they've said it. We say it every single time. You've got to support your bands. Art isn't for free. Transmissions aren't cheap. Okay, just the little things are big. So support this band. Make sure the Last Gang gets your support. Come to the shows. Buy tickets. Buy the merch. There'll be merch Punk Rock Bowling, I'm sure, right? You'll have some stuff, including some cassettes. Links below. Buy their music. Buy their music. Because, you know, streaming is great.
Our stuff.
Streaming is easy, but they're getting nowhere on a 38-cent check every month. So please support the band.
You get checks every month?
$27.
Well, is that the facade that there's a check every month?
Well...
Sorry, quarter.
Whenever they deposit the money, whether it's a check, a Venmo, or whatever, however they do it, even $27 doesn't get you to Europe. So we've got to support you guys.
I'm going to be real with you. I played on a lot of records, and I've never seen a dime from any of them.
No.
So it's all a lie. It's all a lie that you get paid for Spotify counts. They keep all that shit. We don't get any of that. That's why people need to buy stuff.
That's what he's saying.
Absolutely why people need to buy. Absolutely. Look, I buy everyone's music. I don't borrow it. I don't rent it.
Hey, what you got in your wallet?
Hey, break your kneecaps.
Yeah, pull out your wallet, everybody. So before we end, I want to do one last thing with everybody, and that is we love to share the music. Okay, we love to share music. Great bands. We're sitting here. We're getting to know each other. We're just hanging out. We're having a drink, and you're like, Scott, you've got to hear this band. And why? All right, go first with Split, obviously.
Split Dogs.
Split Dogs, son. Split Dogs.
We went on tour with them in the UK.
Split Dogs and Clobber.
Yeah, at the end of last year, and they're both just phenomenal punk rock hardcore bands that are the sweetest people, but rip your face off when they're live. Yeah. So,
if I have to pigeonhole something with their music, it's like the lead singer. It's like if it's like Motorhead was combined with like the dancing wildness of Tina Turner, and then that's Split Dogs
and some AC/DC riffs.
And AC/DC, and then Clobber is just a shit talking oi punk band. That's it.
No, they're best. Oi, remember?
So they're hardcore. It's fucking oi. It's hardcore. And you'll talk shit on that too.
Yeah, Homefront is a good band. This band, Homefront, they're huge. They're amazing in Canada. They're from Canada, not in Canada. Great band. Who else?
Kenny, what are you wearing? The Last Gang.
Last Gang.
Last Gang. Gotta listen to the Last Gang.
Yeah.
The other band from that tour too, the Last Hounds.
The Last Hounds.
Younger hardcore band, and then they're blending a lot of new things together.
New sounds,
and they're kind of a fresh take, and also fucking awesome individuals as well.
I love big guitar bands. Being a not guitar guy, I love Super Heaven. They're back again. That's a big band, and then their side band Webwing is like I'll infinitely shout out that band because they're the best band ever. So I drove 2 hours to San Diego from Long Beach, where I live, to see that band, and they weren't even the headlining band, and then I fucking left. It's like, I'm good, perfect. Bought shirts.
That is dedication.
Yeah.
That is extreme dedication. It's the kind of dedication people should have for the Last Gang.
Yeah.
Some people do. We actually have that. We're very fortunate.
Yeah, there was
we know a couple that flies out all over the country to come see us. They saw us in Tennessee last summer.
Coolest
people. They saw us at Dynamo in like Zurich.
Yeah. We're very fortunate to be doing what we're doing and to be inspiring for those people to come out. It's fun.
We need more of you. Give us your money.
I think that's
come to
well,
Last Game
I would
Show. I
imagine
promise we won't rob you.
I would imagine if someone flies halfway across the country to see you, they're buying some merch.
Yeah, dude. Trip out.
Please support the Last Gang. This has been great. I can't wait to see you all in Las Vegas. We will make something happen one way or another. We'll be in the same place at the same time, even if it's only for the last 3 seconds of your show. So I understand what Dave Grohl is all about. Everybody, thanks for hanging with us. If you've not made your plans to get out to punk rock bowling, what are you waiting for? It's going to be an amazing weekend for the 25th anniversary. Also, when you're out there, you're going to get a chance to win some really cool, one-of-the-kind autographs through Punk Rock Saves Lives. They are incredible, and they're doing great work. And if you ever see them, that's another group. You got to support them. I think their van has had transmission problems as well. So I see a thread running through punk rock and transmissions. We'll be back pretty soon with some more bands. We're looking forward to Punk Rock Bowling. So please come back, subscribe, share, tell your friends about this. Support the Last Gang. They could use the cash. Transmissions
and weed. Bring us weed.
And weed.
Pizza too. Fuck it.
You know what?
Pizza.
And a dog
pizza,
pet.
weed, and a transmission. I'm sure you can get them all on Amazon. Just Amazon all that shit. So it's been great to get to know
Amazon.
You all. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Peace.